welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel, we just talk about all things dealing with astrology. And so recently, I've talked about Mercury in Aries and in Taurus. So today, I'm going to be focusing on Mercury in Gemini. And so, if you don't know how to find your birth placements, you can go to Google, type in free birth chart calculator. You'll have several different options come up. Click on one, a free one, like AstroSeek or Astro Cafe. There's several out there. And the only thing you'll need to know is your birthday, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows. But you also need to know the time that you were born and the place so that you can know exactly where the planets were at the time that you were born and the place that you were born. Because somebody, on two different parts of the world, born at the same time on the same day, it's not going to be the exact same thing for them because of their location. So, Mercury in Gemini. Mercury is about communication, being intelligent, reading, writing, all that good stuff. But when Mercury is in Gemini, if you are born with this placement, your Mercury is very happy because Mercury is at home in Gemini. So Mercury can do all of the talking, all of the learning, all of the communicate. Well, communicating and talking the same thing, but they can do all of that to its best ability because whatever sign that rules the planet that Mercury is in is the planet that you want to pay attention to in your chart. Well, Mercury is in a Mercury ruled sign. So Mercury is definitely at home. So it's not having anything that's kind of like pushing against it. So if you have Mercury in Gemini, you are most likely not a boring person at all. You are probably very interesting. You can have a very active mind, a very active imagination. You can be a great storyteller. You can be someone who have many, many talents because it's like nothing stopping you. You can learn something, you can take in that information, and it's like it clicks for you, and then you can just spit it out whichever way you want to, whether it's um, something active or something that just like mental. Well, I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but anything that you want to learn, you can learn, and it's not like you have anything that's really stopping you. If you feel like it's something that's a little difficult for you to learn, it's like you're quick on your feet, so you know what to do to get something that you can take in small pieces so that you can eat it, and then it clicks for you. Um, People with Mercury and Gemini can have a versatile personality. It's like you're not just always one specific way. It could depend on who you are around or what place that you're at, and it'll affect basically how you act. Not saying that you're fake or two-faced it, which I know that Geminis have gotten that reputation. um it's not saying that at all. It's just that you are you easily adapt to wherever you are, to basically you're like water. Well, Gemini is an air sign, so you're like air if you're going to be in a bubble or whatever. But anyway, Mercury in Gemini placement, people are very intelligent. Like I was saying, you can learn whatever you want to learn. It's probably something that's not going to be very difficult for you. But do keep in mind, you also got to think about whatever planets are talking to your Mercury, but that's not for this video. I just want to go ahead and point that out because if somebody's like, you know what, my Mercury is in Gemini, but it's uh, sometimes with certain stuff, it feels like a little hard for me to learn. Well, if your Mercury is square in Saturn, yeah, it's gonna be some hard stuff for you to learn. But we're not in that right now. But yeah, you can be very good at starting up conversations with people. You could be somebody who just, never meet a stranger. There are some people who can just go out and talk to anybody for however long, and it's like they've known each other for a long time when they only known each other for like 30 minutes. You would never know. Um and also with this placement, you may be quicker than a lot of people, kind of like with Aries, how they're with the Mercury and Aries, how they're so quick on their feet and they're saying stuff before they have a chance to think about it. With Mercury and Gemini, you may be quicker than some people, as in you may get something quicker than others. Like, let's say you're in class and you get something, but the majority of the class is not. So now it's like, oh, now I have to wait on these people. Like, you're aggravated, but it's just these people are not at the same level of you. So if you have Mercury in Gemini or even in Aries, you may need to be a little bit more patient with the people who are not as fortunate as you. Um, and if you have Mercury and Gemini, you could be like Curious George. You know, you're always trying to find something out. You're always trying to get to a deeper meaning or something, or knowing why this works this way. Like, why does B come after A? How did, like, and then you're going into the whole history of, the alphabet, something like that. Something just that simple. You can be very social and great at networking. Somebody who networks with a lot of people, you can be very great at that. And just, make a lot of connections wherever you go. Because that's one of the blessings about having Mercury in Gemini, is that you don't have a lot that's holding you back from doing great things with networking or learning or writing or reading. You can probably read through, I don't know if y'all see like some of those videos where people be like, oh, I read 23 books this month. 23 books in 1 month. Right? And then they have a full-time job and kids and a husband or wife or whatever, but they get through it. It's like their mind is just fast. They're quick on their feet. But with the people who are born with this placement, they may lack identity. Like, they don't know who their true selves are because they're so flexible and wherever they are, they may struggle to be like, is this really me? You know, and the true you is like, who are you and what kind of things do you like when you're not around anybody? When you're at home, in a space that you created the way that you wanted it, and who do you feel comfortable enough inviting over to your home? Because it's like, you most people don't want just anybody in their home all the time. Like, yes, Mercury and Gemini can be very social when they're networking, when they're around people, out and about meeting people, but not necessarily like, oh, everybody just come to my house. You could be somebody who's very popular because a lot of people just want to be around you. They like you. You give them a good vibe. And I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but Mercury and Gemini can have a lot of different talents, because there's nothing that's holding you back. And I know I keep saying that. But you can be great at a lot of things. Mercury and Gemini, well, Gemini itself, which is Mercury ruled, can do a lot. What's the saying? It's a saying like something with trades or something. I don't know, but you can. It's gonna eventually come to me, and I'm gonna be like, dang, I could not think of this for nothing. But oh, master of something, master of many things, jack of all trades. Yeah, that jack of all trades and the master of none. But being the jack of all trades is better than being a master of one. I'm pretty sure I just messed that up all the way. My bad, but I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, so back to the video. Mercury and Gemini people, you're blessed, you're smart, you are very sociable, all of that good stuff. And if you have this placement, most likely you are a Taurus, Gemini, or Cancer. That's where your sun sign will lie, because Mercury and the sun are always close to each other. They're not going to be, so far apart like Leo and Aquarius. They're not going to be like that. They're always going to stay really close. So if you have Mercury and Gemini, your sun sign is very close. But If you have this placement or know anybody with this placement, let me know if you think that yourself or they may identify, with anything that I've said today. And thank y'all and have a good one.